Shalom, shalom, beloved mishpacha. Shalom. So, the Torah portion is from Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 7, starting in verse 12. And I believe I will read it in Hebrew and then translate in English. At least this first part I'll read in Hebrew because there's something I want to say about it. And the rest perhaps in English. But so Deuteronomy 7, starting in verse 12. והיה עקב תשמעון את המשפטים האלה ושמרתם ועשיתם אותם ושמר אדוני אלוהיך לך את הברית ואת החסד אשר נשבע לאבותיך. And if you do obey these rules and observe them carefully, Adonai your God will maintain faithfully for you the covenant that he made an oath with your fathers. Now that's the translation that's here, but I want to kind of break this down a little bit because it starts out as it was translated, and if you do obey these rules, ekev is really a fascinating Hebrew word, as all Hebrew words are fascinating, are they not? But it is really fascinating because it goes with, as they translate it, obey, and well, if you, it's like, it's like this, how else can I translate it? I don't know how else to translate it other than the fact that it's this active, it's ekev. But if you break down the letters, if you look at each letter individually, this is the fascinating thing about this word to me. Anyways, okay, give, to obey, observation, kind of goes, okay, I'm sorry. So the ayin, and I should have my board is what I should have, but maybe I'll put it on the video in the corner. Starts out how it's spelled with an ayin, the letter, Hebrew letter ayin, and then the kof, not kof, sorry, not kof, kof. I think I did say kof at first. I meant to say kof. Kof, the letter kof, and then the bet, ayin, of course, itself means eye, referring to be able to see. I know I mentioned that once before when I mentioned Yeshua's name and how when you have the ayin there, Yeshua, you see who the promised Messiah is. But if you do not say his name with the ayin, if you just pronounce Yeshu, it means may his name be forever blotted out. Big difference. And interestingly enough, that Yeshu is without the ayin, and ayin meaning to see. So eye, meaning eye. Yeah, and I don't even want to say it the other way, but for the purpose of teaching, I had to say it. So Yeshua, though, is the Messiah's name in Hebrew. So if you put together, though, going back to the word ekev with the ayin, kof, and the bet, interesting, you can actually put those together, and it reads as to see. In one translation, because kof is kind of can mean like sun of, if you go back to the ancient Hebrew, it's like the sun on the horizon also means behind, kind of goes together really. So it's like to see behind the house is kind of how you, I mean, that's how I put, or if you put it the other way, the house behind what you see. And this is fascinating to me because when you obey, when you take the action to obey, to follow through observing rules and commandments, that you are seeing the bigger picture. Or rather, I should say, you don't see the bigger picture, but you are seeing the bigger picture that if you do these things, you know that even if you don't understand them, you know that God will bless you and will take care of you. I mean, I'm sure many of us, many times when we were growing up, there were things we were asked to do that didn't really make sense, and we were told to obey. Then we found out later. I mean, that's actually true. I mean, it's been true in my own life that there's things that I know I have to do or say, and it's like, this doesn't make any sense, and why do I have to, say or do this? And then it's like, God reassures me by opening my eyes in time to see, oh yeah, that's why you had me do this, or that's why you had me say this. It's like, okay. So, yeah, to see behind the house. And being able to see can be just that we don't see, but we're seeing that we don't see, so we obey. Because we know that that's going to keep us alive if we obey. I mean, yes. So, as we continue with this, so, yeah. So, if you are to obey, to keep these rules, these commandments, to observe them carefully. Vishmelten. Okay. So that's and guard, or to keep. Vasitem, and make them. Oh yeah, okay, that goes back with what we were just reading. Okay, sorry. I don't think I'm in the view here. Whew. So, this is the part that I wanted to get to. So it says, and guard, because Vishama, they translate it as to, that God will maintain faithfully. Literally it says in guard, he will guard. Adonai will guard, you are God. I mean, Adonai, your God, will guard to you, keep to you, guard and keep together. The covenant, the tablit. But this is the other thing. This is what's really fascinating to me too. It says ve'et ha-chesed. Chesed. I know for many people that I've heard talk about chesed, it's, how do you translate it? I mean, really, it's hard to translate any language to another language, but how do you translate chesed? On the one hand, we translate it as kindness. On the other hand, we translate it as mercy. And really, I do believe they go together quite well. I mean, when someone, if you make a mistake and someone says it's okay, don't worry about it, to me that's kindness, because you didn't mean to make a mistake. And mercy, it's just, to me, it goes together really beautifully. But then mercy, God's mercy, takes it to another level, because even when you have deliberately done something wrong, but you are like, so you don't want that. You want to be close to God. You want His promise for you. To me, it's kindness, it's mercy when He brings us, closer to Him, restores us. So it is interesting because in their translation here, they did not put that in reference to the mercy, the kindness. And this is from Sepharia.org. I have my Bible open here too. I'm looking at both of these, but I wanted to share with you this translation and then give my voice here. So the covenant and the mercy. And to me, the other thing that's fascinating about this is that we have the covenant and we have the mercy, the kindness, the covenant, which is our promise, and also the mercy of the Messiah, Yeshua, is our promise. I mean, so that which is an oath that He had made with your fathers, or to your fathers, la'avotecha. Asher nishva la'avotecha. So, that was what I really wanted to share, but I will continue to read in the English. He will favor you and bless you and multiply you. He will bless the issue of your womb and the produce of your soil, your new grain and wine and oil, the calving of your herd and the lambing of your flock in the land that He swore to your fathers to assign to you. You shall be blessed above all other peoples. There shall be no sterile male or female among you or among your livestock. Adonai will ward off from you all sickness. He will not bring upon you any of the dreadful diseases of Egypt about which you know, but will inflict them upon all your enemies. You shall destroy all the peoples that Adonai your God delivers to you, showing them no pity. And you shall not worship their gods, for that would be a snare to you. It seems really intense right there. It says, you shall destroy. And I know this is where some people say, oh, how awful. It says, you shall destroy all the peoples that Adonai your God delivers to you. How terrible that, I mean, destroy them. We're talking about human lives here. Now, there's something I have actually talked extensively about in the past, about this, that how, I mean, how awful it sounds, saying you shall destroy all these people, but it has to be understood something. I'm not saying it's beautiful, it's not beautiful. We're talking about people who have witnessed God, His presence, His wonders over and over again, who have seen God's work, but have literally mocked and arrogantly, proudly said they don't want to have anything to do with this God, Adonai, the one true God, who has extended His hands to them, because God is merciful. I mean, He doesn't want anyone to die, but He also hates sin. He hates things that is not pure, not righteous. So after having extended His hand again and again, there comes a point where if you deliberately are, mocking God and putting Him to the test even after everything is shown you, what can be done? What can be said? You don't want to have that promise. You don't want to have His promise. So I would say that also, I'd have to say that these are also people who have been a snare, as it's saying about how they'll be a snare to God's people, because even if they themselves did not try to destroy physically the people of Israel, the fact that people in even our lives now, if they are trying to change you to be, to follow after the things of the world and the things that are not close to God's heart, it is a snare to your life, your physical and your spiritual life. And they are really, it's like a distraction to your life. So it sounds harsh when Adonai says, destroy these people. But again, they have seen, they know who the one true God is. It's not a mystery. Furthermore, if they continue to be as they are, they will be a snare to the people of Israel, to their own livelihood, God's chosen people. And I think it's really important for people to understand that, again, He's not some angry God that's sitting on a cloud somewhere ready to strike someone down. He doesn't want people to die. He doesn't want that at all. He wants life. And He wants life for His own people too. And so anything that tries to destroy His people, it's bad. So, continuing on, should you say to yourselves, these nations are more numerous than we, how can we dispossess them? You need have no fear of them. You have but to bear in mind what Adonai your God did to Pharaoh and all the Egyptians. The wondrous acts that you saw with your own eyes, the signs and the portents, the mighty hand and the outstretched arm by which Adonai your God liberated you. Adonai Elohim. Elohecha, that's what it goes, really, Elohecha. He liberated you. Thus will Adonai your God do to all the peoples you now fear. I have found too that when any situation is more greater than I can understand, that I know how to figure out, maneuver, because we can't, that when I cry out to Adonai, I also I cry out to Him and trust that He will deliver me from that situation. And however He delivers, however He intends to deliver, however which way He desires it and wants it to be. Not my way, not my will, but His will be done. And today, the scripture was brought to my heart, and I know it was Adonai for sure, as I was pondering these things, was seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. All these things being added unto you, being things such as answers to difficult decisions, answers to difficult situations, things that you can't grasp. Seek the kingdom of heaven. And what is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is that shalom, that peace, that rest. We're to seek that out. Truth, purity, wholeness in the Messiah Yeshua. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. All these things. Beautiful things. Amen. Amen. Thank you for listening. Blessings to all of you. And I still haven't gotten to talk about the thing from the news that I wanted to talk about. So maybe in the next video, maybe we'll see. Shalom, shalom. Thanks again. Thank you.